Oh, hey guys. Welcome to our beach house project. You caught me just waking up in my pajamas. But really, this is how I feel like somebody living at a beach house would dress, in all linen and comfortable. The clients brought us on to their beach house project at a point when they already had the plans, the foundation had been poured, the initial framing had been done, but things weren't being pulled all together in the way that they wanted. They really had a vision for this beach house, their dream home, and the intention was for it to have elements that were elegant and mature, but also comfortable like linen. This property has been held in the family for over 50 years, and it's beautiful, but it also had a layout that made it so that the architect had to design the home on a 45-degree angle. So our team came on and were able to take, for example, the exterior of the home and interlace the finishes in a way that was proportional and intentional. For the grand entrance, we've accomplished that by cladding it all out in this rich stone, which, fun fact, the builder took a little bit of the sand from the beach and mixed it with the mortar so that we would have this perfect tone that would blend in with the environment. We have these beautiful cathedral beams that's matched out with a wood tongue and groove for the ceiling. And so that we wouldn't have just the rest of the home done in the siding, we've cladded out the garage in the stone too, so that it has this reference point and creates that visual interest to the exterior. The architect has created these beautiful dormer details. However, some of the angles that had to be achieved in the architecture created these interesting, unique details for the interior layouts. So get comfortable, because I'm gonna take you to show you around this beautiful beach property. Entering into the beach house, we are greeted with this beautiful sight line out to the beach. And originally in the layout of this entrance, there was gonna be this protruding closet with this awkward ledge. And so our team scrapped that because there is a mudroom, and having hooks here will suffice, and it allows it to feel way more open and cohesive. Welcome to the great room. This space is so magic. The architectural elements in this great room are stunning, and they were the starting off point for the design. Having them done in this rich chocolatey brown is a tone that's brought throughout so many of the finishes and really the atmosphere of this home. And then having this fireplace, we wanted to bring in again kind of that old world charm that you see in these cathedral beams, but do it in a way that it still has some contemporary lines. So we've done it in this gorgeous texture. It is a cast concrete, but it is done in an open cast. So that means that it's not filled in, and it has all of this texture that goes throughout. I think this is one of my favorite applications that I've seen on a fireplace. And then the clients really envisioned having these warm family moments gathered around here in different seasons, including over Christmas. We wanted to make sure, like, where's the Christmas tree gonna go? So we envisioned having a Christmas tree here, having the hearth so that you could sit here and it would provide extra seating for all of the hosting and guests that they wanted to have, having the garland wrap around this mantle, and then extending the fireplace all the way to the ceiling and doing the crown above. It just adds this element that makes it feel cozy because of the scale and proportion of it. By doing the cathedral type of ceilings, we have this arch to the top of the window that doesn't allow you to easily do drapery. So functionally, we needed to make sure that we have this UV protection that we adhered to the exterior of the window, because you're investing into all of this beautiful furniture. You want to make sure that it's protected and it's going to last you. And then it allowed us the ability to do these beautiful linen drapes at half of the window so that you'd get the privacy, but you'd also get that layered effect that you see through all of our projects that really warm up a space. There's a consistency that you'll see throughout the home in terms of color tones and finishes, and being that this room is in an open layout, you'll see that linen and that texture and those wood tones carried from the great room into the dining room. The dining room is a host's dream. These clients love to entertain, but they also don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. So when designing this dining room, we wanted to make sure that we would design it in a functional way to allow guests to help themselves. So starting off with this beautiful hutch, it is all custom. We have integrated a few elements in here that are definitely the host's dream. We have a cooling drawer. We have my favorite, the ice drawer. We have pullouts here for bottles, a beverage fridge, and then above it, the way that the hutch has been designed is to really give it that old world charm that is brought through the rest of the home by doing rich chocolate brown wood in the inside with these beautiful cathedrals, so it adds the texture. But then on the outside, doing it in an edgecomb gray, which is a paint color that we've been using for over a decade. So it's definitely, in our minds, timeless. And it just adds that light and bright that you're seeing and the continuity that you'll see throughout some of the other elements of this great room. But the rich brown on the interior definitely lends itself to have that warmth and depth that our team was looking for. And then moving over to the kind of coffee appliance station, having a sink here allows your guests to not get into your space and really enables them to help themselves to a morning coffee or a cocktail. And we love our appliance cabinets. We know that you guys love them too. So we've done an appliance cabinet in here for the coffee station, and everything is really nicely integrated. It allows it to have that look by doing all of the paneled appliances that we love to do in our designs. And then moving over to the dining room furniture, we've kept it, relatively simple but elegant. We've done a harvest table here that really grounds the space with its scale and proportion, but also brings in those rich kind of chocolate tones that we have in the beams. And then we've decided to go with a low profile chair. It's high performance, done in this textural boucle, which allows for guests to really be comfortable and sit for hours and enjoy each other's company, but also the durability and ease to clean is important when you are going to be hosting and just enjoying yourselves. In the kitchen, there are quite a few details for us to discuss, but let's start off with symmetry. We wanted to make sure in this open concept that when you were standing in the kitchen and doing the dishes, that you not only had this beautiful view out to the beach, but you also had the perfect symmetry that leads you through the cathedral beams all the way to the fireplace and back again to the range wall. An architectural element that when we were brought onto the project that our team was able to change was originally this stove wall was going to have the cabinets end with a shelf. It really didn't do the space justice. Our team was able to bump out this wall and create these symmetrical, deep alcoves on either side, but also this niche for the range hood and cabinetry to really recess in and end more intentionally. Like I've mentioned in the dining room and in numerous of our other projects, We love to panel out appliances. It just makes it look more homey and less commercial. So for in this instance, the clients love to host. We have a 36-inch freezer and a 36-inch fridge over here on this wall. And if we didn't panel them out, it would look like a commercial kitchen. So by having them paneled in this beautiful edgecomb gray, it looks really integrated and it softens the effect. And then when you add on the beautiful hardware, it's like the jewelry on top of the space. We decided to go with a two-tone kitchen. It's quite a classic look, and we've done the rich chocolate wood tones on the island that pick up from the beams. And we've added a few classic details here, like the turned legs around the island that really add to that more traditional styling. For the range hood, we've decided to do the range wall in the edgecomb gray so that it lends itself to the perimeter style millwork. And then we've added corbel details, again, that kind of traditional detail that pick up off of the legs and other elements throughout the home. The kitchen island was definitely the place to do lighting. We've done these beautiful chain link linen shades that are oversized, so we only need the two of them, and having them flanked out on either side allows for that focal point to really elongate your view towards the fireplace. A consideration to make when you are designing a home on well water is that it will stain things. So if you are a lover of live brass finishes that patina like we are, you might want to consider the trade-off of they're going to patina a lot faster and require more maintenance on well water. And same with your sink if you don't want a bunch of staining. So in this case, we went with a satin brass here, and we went with a cast iron enameled sink, because we had this conversation with the clients and they opted out of having that additional maintenance. We're calling this the hallway bathroom. It is cozy because it's wrapped in this chocolate brown tile that's done halfway up the walls and really envelopes a space that's a little bit larger for what one would consider a powder room. Our team designed this gorgeous custom linen cabinet that's built in and has these classic details to it with the beading on the shaker doors and the little egg hardware knobs. It's meant to be the storage for the toiletries, but it displays them in a really aesthetically purposeful way. Adding in a vintage bench and some hooks, it serves for guests to come in and change and put their clothes down or hang a towel. The vanity is designed like a furniture piece with the leg details. It really complements the linen cabinet. And I think that this room is very unique to something that we've never done before, and it's probably because of the linen cabinet being floor to ceiling and making such a statement in the space. Welcome to the primary suite, where we like to think that elegance meets the natural environment. I think our team is really experts at meshing elegant elements together with organic finishes, where something can feel really refined and elevated, but also very comfortable and approachable. In the primary bedroom, the objective was to keep it calm and tranquil. We wanted this room to have very soft lines to it. And originally, there was gonna be this full wall here, and our team just thought, why would you impede the view? So we dropped it to a half wall and integrated it into this really beautiful custom bed feature. We've gone with this walnut wood tone, so it lends itself to a very contemporary line with its subdued grains, and then done with these rounded edges. We have integrated nightstands with a soft drawer close and a nice dovetail joinery. We've done the headboard in a nice linen here that also picks up on the simple, soft linen bedding. We didn't want to overlayer the space because it really is all designed around the view. And with these views, you want to also have the functionality of the window treatments. So all of the Roman shades are motorized, and then they're layered with beautiful linen drapery, which we love to do in our projects because it feels romantic and elegant. The cocoa bead light in here picks up on references from being this beach house, and it adds this really nice ambiance and glow to the space in the evening and even throughout the day. And then a little peekaboo that we had the opportunity to do on the back of the bed is this desk or landing station, you could call it. It's sleek, it's all done in the same material as the bed, and it just adds an extra element of functionality to the space. The primary suite completes this space. It is so elegant. It has these nodes to a New York style, but still allowing itself to connect to the rest of the comfort and approachability of the home. There's lots of elements to mention, including the architectural component that was already defined, which were the windows. The clients really wanted to have mirrors in front of their sinks, which is valid. However, with these windows, we needed to create a solution that was going to be able to achieve that. So our team worked with professional welders, and we came up with these enlarged mirror designs done in this beautiful oval that were going to be suspended from the ceiling. So one, we needed to make sure that there was going to be bracing in the ceiling, so that needed to happen at the framing stage, so that they would be able to support the weight of these mirrors. And then two, we wanted to allow some of the natural light to still come through from the windows. So we installed the mirrors flush to the plumbing so they'd be sitting a little bit forward. Then with the vanity, we wanted to have a double vanity, and we decided to do an elongated vanity that would run wall to wall and really look integrated. All of the drawer fronts give it a really symmetrical look, and with the beading details on it, it lends it to that classic styling and silhouette. The polished nickel plumbing fixtures have nodes of that classic traditional style, and with the silhouette of the plumbing, it also picks up on that and really looks elegant against the quartz. We decided to go with 3 sconce lights done in alabaster, a fan favorite of ours, to softly diffuse the light in the bathroom. We wanted the shower to have its own moment too, so a few details that we added in here were a half wall, which actually wraps around to create a ledge within the shower for shampoo bottles and whatnot. And then we cladded the exterior of it with wall moldings to give it that classic detailing. And then we did this tile, it's a ceramic glazed tile to bounce light around, and finished it with a detail at the top and bottom of a soldier brick. And then we added in the plumbing fixtures to match out what we have for the sinks too in a polished nickel. In this bathroom, the clients wanted a separate water closet. So we created its own intimate space with a door and its own sink. It's smaller, but we wanted to still give the sink a design detail. So it's a floating sink, custom, that fits into the smaller space and is totally wrapped in quartz. And then for the backsplash, we have this curved detail that picks up on some of the curved elements that you see throughout the primary suite. So in this space, because it is the hallway and the main entrance to the rest of the primary suite, we wanted to make sure that as a closet, it served all of the functional needs, but it also looked really clean and all built in. So we've done edge comb gray for the entire ceiling, cabinetry, trim work, and it is all integrated behind closed doors with beautiful hardware. In this type of drop station, kind of makeup station, we've done open shelving to highlight some of your fan favorites, but also have this moment with a sconce light done in an organic rattan to add in those natural elements, and then paired out with a simple mirror. For the main light in this space, it's almost this Grecian brass that really has these elegant, almost fashion type of details to it. As I walk into this beautifully lit sunroom, we are surrounded almost entirely by windows. We have the beachfront in front of us, and we have this beautiful patio for the outdoor kitchen use. And the intention in this room was really to have a space that was comfortable, multi-use, and very functional. This is a space where we're gonna have high traffic. People will be entering from the beach, dragging in sand. So we needed to make sure that the finishes in here would be very durable and hide some of those exterior elements. We've used the exterior stone on the interior to really warm up this fireplace. We've added in beams in here, but instead of doing them in the wood, which you'll see in some of the other kind of open grand spaces, we've painted them out in our favorite white. Can you guess? If not, it's Steam AF15. And we've done a tongue and groove on the ceiling so that you would have texture, but it all looks a bit calmer and less contrast. Because there's so many windows, we wanted to add in the texture of the wood Roman shades to them. The floors are all done in a radiant heat, so you don't have to worry about that coldness from tile, and that you get the functionality. If we talk about some of the furniture elements in here, we really needed to focus on the layout because of having 2 doors in this space. We needed to have the right circulation. So we pushed forward the sofa so that it's floating, and we went with an upholstered ottoman done in this kind of vintage, really warm and mature fabric. You can put your feet up, but it also allows for the proportion of the space of moving forward the sofa. And then we've gone with these leather upholstered chairs around what we like to call the breakfast table, maybe an afternoon cocktail, the games. Again, it's a very multi-use space. With the lighting and all of the windows and the fireplace, this space is a really beautiful room to gather in day or night. The 3/4 bath is going to be used primarily by guests coming in from the beach, and it is off of the sunroom. So we wanted to make sure that it had a continuation of finishes, but that it also had its own personality. So our team used the same tile that we have all the way through the back entrance into the sunroom, but because this tile collection has different sizes, we were able to do an 8x8 in it, and that way the transition from the hallway and these kind of interesting angles that we've had throughout the home look clean. And then we went with millwork that picks up on the chocolate brown that you see throughout the great room, and it has this richness in the cathedral details that come through it. The countertop and backsplash have this curved detail to them, making them look custom and elevated and picking up on those rich kind of classic details that you'll see throughout the home. But we also wanted the room to feel casual and have that beach house vibe to it. So doing the tongue and groove as the texture on the walls and simplifying the faucets to make them a bit more contemporary allows for this mix of aesthetics that you're seeing throughout the home come into this space as well. And then in the shower, we went with a glazed tile done in this charcoal tone. So the light still bounces off of it, but it has a little bit more of that rich mood to it. One of my favorite elements is this penny tile that we've used in a few different projects now, but when you do the grout the same as a penny tile, it just has this really classic look to it. The staircase is right off of the entrance, so although it's not this grand staircase, it still has quite an impact in the space. And originally they were gonna do this open riser, modern staircase that really wasn't gonna fit the whole old world charm details of the home. So we decided to close the risers and do a traditional turned leg posts on it with these swoop arched handrails so that it would lend itself to the type of silhouettes that you were seeing throughout the home. As you walk up the stairs, we have this sconce light that takes nodes from the fashion era of the flapper style, and it's just really fun to run your hands through, almost meditative as you're going up the stairs. In this wing of the house, we have 2 more guest bedrooms. And really, we wanted to make sure that the guests would have all the creature comforts that they would need. So in terms of the aesthetic, it's very soft, organic tones that you'll see throughout the home. It works really well with the beach environment around us. And then we wanted to make sure that each guest bedroom had its own bathroom. That's definitely ideal, with a tub in one of the bathrooms and a shower in the other, so that if families were coming to stay with children, that there would be one tub in the house. In both of the bathrooms, we decided to go with prefab vanities because we did so much custom throughout this home. It's a bit of a cost savings and they still look really good. We also added in some organic nodes in the lighting and some of the finishes that you'll see throughout the home so that it really has that continuity in each of the spaces. The laundry room in this house is like a hotel linen closet with all of the guests and turning over of towels because of the beach. We wanted to make sure that there was lots of storage and counter space. We went with the same millwork that we did in the kitchen and that you'd see throughout the house for continuity. Nice pulls so that you have that jewelry on them and it continues that elegant feel that we have elsewhere. And then for the counter, we wanted to keep it dark and moody like the rest of the space. We went with a granite that is called Jet Mist. It's definitely one of our favorites. And then having a large apron sink that looks out the window to the estuary that feeds into the lake just gives you a nice view and again brings you back to that feeling that you're in this beach house regardless of the chore that you're doing. The loft is really like the guest beach house of this project. It's meant for guests who are gonna come and stay a little bit longer to really have everything that they would need to be self-sufficient. When you enter the loft, you're greeted by a console table and a bit of a landing station moment. And then when you come into the living space, it's very relaxed. It picks up off of those sandy dune tones. It has a kitchenette with a fridge, a microwave, a sink. And then in the bathroom, this is one of those spaces where some of the angles of the home, we had to end up doing a custom vanity in here. And so we went with chocolate brown tones that we had done in the kitchen and elsewhere to create something custom and quite beautiful for the bathroom. In the guest bedroom, it is full of these earthy tones and it's really meant as a space to come in, unwind and relax after a long day at the beach. So that is a wrap, my friends, on our beach house project. Thank you for your interest in design. It is obviously a passion that we share. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. We have a lot of content coming your way. If you have comments on things that you want to know more about or ideas of ways that we can communicate the design intent and details of building a dream home, then please leave them in the comments below. We want to inspire with our videos, but we also want to make sure that you're walking away with teachable moments. So until next time, it has been a long day of shooting and it is hot out, so I'm gonna go for a swim.